Hey y'all, welcome. Alright, so I'm going to be answering all the questions that y'all have submitted. First question, how many vending events do you usually do a year and how do you find them? So I usually do between 3 and 4 a year. Sometimes I do 5, but it depends on how much it costs to vend. My first vending event, like my first major vending event, was in Atlanta, and it was like 2 years ago for the Talia Wajid Natural Hair Show. That was very pricey, but I made the money back within a couple of hours, and it was a 2-day event. So you need to know which ones that will allow you to actually make money from it. And we're not just talking about like, oh, you made $50 to $100 profit. No, like you have to account for gas, you have to account for the rental car or a plane or whatever means of transportation that you're taking to get there and to vend. Also, if you need to use like a U-Haul truck, if you have one of those really big display cases or display stuff, have to take all of that into account before you sign up to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna vend here, just because you want to, be able to say that you vend. So how do I find them? Every year is something new that comes up that I've never heard of before, and then I'm just like, okay, then I research on it to see what demographic goes there and if that is my target audience and if that would actually work well. I actually have a story about that. I vended at Renegade Craft last fall, and it was not my demographic at all. What I was trying to do was trying to see like how I would do at this kind of event. So it was primarily white, my target audience primarily black women, to be specific. I just wanted to see like how my products would do in a different space, in a different market. And my theory was right that it didn't do well, but I used that so when I'm researching another event that I know what to look for and how to plan more effectively. I find them through like hashtags or events that are similar to that. Also, Eventbrite is another like good resource to see what's in your area if you want to begin locally first. So, but that Renegade Craft was in New York and I'm from Delaware, so it was kind of it was not much of a trip, but I still had to invest in bus fares and like where I'm going to sleep and all of that stuff. Second question, what kind of machine do you use to cut metal? The machine that I currently use is called the Boxy. It was actually funded from Kickstarter, which is a crowdfunding platform, and that allowed me, through your support, that allowed me to purchase it and to be able to use it. Now it took like a darn long time to learn how to use it, and I thank God for best friends and co-working spaces and instructors that set aside time to teach me how to use it and to use the software, because I am not gonna lie, I'm a very stubborn and impatient person. And all right, on to our next question. So our third question is, how did you know you did enough variations of products to start with when you launched? When I first launched, the variations were based on color. The first set of things that I made were lock jewelry. I had silver, I had gold, and I had copper. So those are the variations, as well as size for like sister locks, freeform locks, or traditional locks. And I felt like it met each person's like or customization. Like, oh, this person might like copper instead of gold or silver, or their hair is this thin as opposed to like a freeform lock that's much larger. That's what I thought of in variations, and I thought I fit a good number of people. Next question. How long did your development process start and last? This is a good question because it hasn't ended. As the years go on, I'm adding different accessories to the line. So it just started off with lock jewelry, then I added on fake nose piercings, the earrings, the ear cuffs, and I added on waist beads. And so like each year something is added, so it's not a set destination. It's as we're going on, more things are being incorporated into the collection. Fifth and last question. How did you decide to build your workspace? In our house, there was this room that we called the computer room. It was basically like a little spare room besides the guest room that we have. I noticed that it wasn't used because we don't really have people come over like that. So I was like, okay, my orders were getting to the point where I couldn't fulfill it out in the living room. I knew for sure I did not want to do any of my orders in my bedroom because I wanted to separate the space from where I rest and where I do work. So I needed another place outside of the living room that was like a closed space where I can work out of, and I'm not getting bothered every couple of seconds because someone needs to go get something from the kitchen. So I live with my mom, and I asked my mom, I was like, hey, can I like use the room? And she wasn't trying to give, like, she didn't say no, but she just wasn't trying to give me the room. And I was just like, all right, bet. So I waited till she went to work, and then I got my best friend and his stepbrother, and he just like gutted the whole room. Just took everything out. And then a friend of mine who's interior decorator went to IKEA, and if it was left up to me, I would have got like some boring colors for my office. I was just gonna get like, I don't know, like beige, because the broom was like tan, and I was just gonna get stuff like that. But she was like, no, get orange, that's actually better. And then no, get this green bookcase, because I was definitely gonna get somebody's white, and it was just gonna look corny. But I'm glad she came with me to get the stuff. Yeah, as time went on, I added another table where I saw on, and then I went to the Container Store and I got like a little storage thing. And then a friend of mine, Nicole, she brought over her label maker, and so I just labeled everything and made everything an organized space, because before it was just in this box, just like jingling around, like nothing was organized. And that's what really not upset me, it's annoying. I need a set place where everything is, and set places within the room that I do everything. Like over here I mill out the charms, and over here I print out the shipping labels, over here I saw, and over here I have storage. So I wanted everything in a designated space. It's not completely like what I want it to look like. I want to remove the carpet so bad, because the milling dust is getting in the carpet, and I definitely have asthma. I'm not trying I'm not trying to use my nebulizer again, because I have not used my nebulizer since I was like 17. But back to the question, I realized that space wasn't being used, and so I just used it. And so when she came home and she saw it, it was kind of like, what could you really say, because everything's already been done. Yeah, so I kind of like strong-armed my way into having that room for myself, and it's been that way since. So that was the last question. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.